Greetings and welcome to Lincoln Park Young Professionals When They See Us, a virtual Root experience. Brought to you by Lincoln Park Young Professionals and Root in Change, Inc. Thank you for being here with us tonight. I'm going to take a moment and introduce our wonderful president, Venice Gilmore, and he's going to present us with some opening remarks.
Thank you, Kalita. Welcome to the Lincoln Park Young Professionals When They See Us virtual Root experience. Let me give you a little history about the Lincoln Park Young Professionals. We were formed in October 2017. We're a group of young professionals with a common interest to invoke change in the community to address various community issues and/or concerns. Our mission is by recognizing ourselves and others together, we strive to unify the Lincoln Park community through education, advocacy, and empowerment. Our vision is to foster community that is culturally aware, economically savvy, and politically engaged. The members of our organization are myself, I'm an urban planner, LaShonda Henderson, who's a licensed counselor, Kalita Scott, grants administrator, Chastity Harry, mental health practitioner, Junette Raymond, realtor, Jessica Smith, social worker, and Tay Neal, who is an HR manager. If the audience members have any questions, please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Venice. Next, and I just want to actually give a point about those questions. Hold your questions, put them in there, and we will at the end get back to the Q&A questions, okay? Next, we have founder Tay Neal with a little bit on what is the Root.
On May the 11th, 2018, we, the Lincoln Park Young Professionals, submitted our application for our boom idea, The Root. As a group, we were so excited that we were selected to present our idea in person on June the 7th, 2018. The Lincoln Park Young Professionals are awarded the Boom Grant, and the vision of The Root is born on July the 13th, 2018. The vision of the growth of the possibilities and beauty in the Lincoln Park community is what we saw. That is why we turned to you, our community, to ask what your vision was that you see. We as a body see that because without the vision of you, there is no me without us. Strength, sturdiness, and endurance. That is the heartbeat behind The Root, recognizing ourselves and others together. When we are rooted, we are strong. When we are strong, we are sturdy. When we are sturdy, we create growth. We see you.
Thank you, Tay. We do see you. So we have a poll question, and the question is, do you think that this project will benefit the community? We have about 30 seconds to answer the question, and it should pop up. Yes, no, or tell me more. All right. Looks like we have a few more moments. Okay, all right. Sorry about that, guys. Looks like people are still coming in. Okay. We've got about 15 more seconds. Do you think this project will benefit the community? Yes, no, or tell me more. All right, it looks like everybody has completed the polling, and we have 10 people that said, you can share the results, 10 people that said yes, and a few of you like to know more. We'll get to that. Next up, we have LaShonda Henderson sharing our 2018 survey results.
Thank you, Kalita. In the fall of 2018, the founders of Lincoln Park Young Professionals began canvassing the Lincoln Park corridor, as well as engaging individuals in the community via email and social media outlets. There were a total of 229 participants. We looked at safety concerns, small business opportunities, and event options. When we looked at the demographics of the surveyors, 77% were female and 23% were male. As we look at the age, our age range from 18 to 65 and up. 1% was 18 and under, 5% 18 to 24, 23% fell in the age range of 25 to 34, 35 to 44 were 27% of the population, and 45 to 54% was 20%, sorry. 55% to 64% were 14%. I'm sorry, 55 to 64 years old were 14%, and then 65 and older were 9%. 98% of the participants felt that there is not enough of small business opportunities. When we looked at the safety aspect of the area as one of our top priorities, 20% of our participants said that they felt safe. 53% felt that they felt somewhat safe. 10% safety was not a concern at all. 13% felt not safe at all. And while 4% of the surveyors never visit the Lincoln Park corridor, so they couldn't engage the aspect of safety. We also engaged types of events and days of the events. We heard you. You are interested in comedy, poetry, farmers market, family gathering, event space, art expos, and concerts. With 37% feeling that the event should occur on the weekends and 31% in the evening time frame. And it was an interesting combination with the 12% saying anytime, well, 15% saying any time of the day. They just want events. Take the survey. Please comment below and we'll get that link to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. We've got a poll question. We've got two poll questions. What types of events do you foresee in the near future? And would you consider starting a business in Lincoln Park? We're going to give you 30 seconds to answer. Now, the types of events, would you like to do them virtually or socially distanced in person? And would you consider starting a business in Lincoln Park? Yes, no, or maybe with some support. Okay. I'm going to give you a few more moments. Okay, actually, we're going to ask you to put your name, put your answers in the chat. We had a little snafu with our poll questions. So if you put your answers in the chat, if you would like to have events that are virtual or socially distancing in person, and if you are interested in starting a business in Lincoln Park, yes, no, or maybe with support. Thank you. Okay, next up, we've got some exciting information from Chastity Harry, sharing some info on Taylor Moxie.
Thank you, Kalita. Before I get to the actual library, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Taylor Moxie and who she is. Taylor Moxie is an internationally known entrepreneur, author, and philanthropist. The success of her cupcake company has inspired her to write the best-selling book, The Adventures of Taylor, the Cupcake Chef. As she continued to develop her personal brand, Taylor knew she wanted to inspire and motivate others. Her desire to inspire led her to create a collection of daily mantra cards called Moxivation, which ultimately led to her launch, the Taylor Moxie Foundation. It's Taylor's standing commitment to fulfill her mission to inspire the younger generation to become social entrepreneurs while using education to empower them. The foundation was created to empower, educate, and encourage literacy in library deserts. The mission of the Taylor Moxie Foundation expresses Taylor's love of reading to her need to establish a safe space for future leaders to imagine, discover, and create. This initiative was brought to life with the Library Project. The Taylor Moxie Library Project has inspired the imaginations of both children and adults. Constructed of a pod-style building created from repurposed shipping containers, Taylor Moxie libraries are the perfect space to learn and discover. The Taylor Moxie Foundation has 3 locations: Andros, Bahamas, Miami, and West Palm Beach, Florida. Taylor's first library was built in 2015 from a small lawn trailer in Andros, Bahamas. She got the idea after spending a summer there with her parents and realizing there wasn't any library for the kids. Now, after hearing about the library in Bahamas, Miami was the next on the list to receive a library. Taylor asked for a shipping container, got an artist, and collected and donated books. Now you can go and sit and read in the middle of downtown Miami. Now, the third library is located in the heart of West Palm Beach in an activity space called Dance into the Sunset. The pop-up library is a partnership between the Taylor Moxie Foundation, the City of West Palm Beach Arts Entertainment District, and the West Palm Beach Community Redevelopment Agency. It wasn't until the spring of 2019 when the Lincoln Park Young Professionals traveled to West Palm Beach and met a group of young, inspirational Black hope dealers, also known as the Inner City Innovators. It was at their location we learned of the Taylor Moxie Library and felt compelled to have this library here in Fort Pierce. Our mural will be painted by our very own Lincoln Park Young Professional, Sean Logan, and it will be located in the heart of the Lincoln Park community here at The Root. Taylor Moxie Library, Fort Pierce, #coming soon.
All right, thank you very much, Chastity. I'm excited about that library. Here's our poll question. Would you like to partner with the Lincoln Park Young Professionals for an event using the Taylor Moxie Library? And what emotions do you feel when you see the mural? If we can get our the mural back up for a moment. Oh, look, it's working. All right, and actually for question number 2, what emotions do you feel when you see this mural? You should be able to select a few. With those answers coming in, we've got about 5 more seconds. All righty, we're gonna go ahead and end the poll. And it looks like 100%, everyone who answered question number 1 would like to partner. So please put your contact information in the chat. We will get with you and be ready to have an event. And as far as the emotions, let's see. We had 18% say happy, 27% said warm, 5% said inspired, 1 person said, nobody said boom. I didn't get a chance to answer. I would have answered boom. All right, thank you for your answers. Next up, I'd like to introduce an architect who's been working closely with us on this project, Amy Calisti.
Hello, my name is Amy Calisti. I'm going to keep my video off so that you can see the presentation and it might be a little bit bigger on your screen. So yes, I'm the architect and I've been working alongside this lovely group for a few months now. And The Root is part of the Allegheny Franciscan Ministries Common Good Initiative grant projects in the area, and they're improving Avenue D and the Lincoln Park neighborhood. And our project is that red dot in the corner, or red square, I should say. It's a vacant lot, and it's located next to the Lincoln Theater. Right there, you can see it outlined in red, and there's nothing, it's a complete canvas to work with. And the project is meant to be a resource for local businesses. It's meant to become the heart of the community, to have your voices heard, to showcase your identity. And not everything started overnight, so I'm going to walk you through how we got to the final phase. This is the final phase. There's many different elements to it. There is fixed space and flex space. So the fixed space is something like the commissary kitchen and the bathrooms. And the flex space would be an area that helps organize the programming like concerts or a green market. So again, I'd like to take you back to how we're going to phase out the project. So we'll start with phase 1. And phase 1 consists of the Taylor Moxie Library that was just discussed prior. It's the seed of the project, and it will be planted on the site. It is the yellow box that you see, number 3. And it really will kick off the project's success. And the flex space around it is populated with pop-up tents for a green market or a stage that you can have performances in. And it has a delineated entrance and exit, number 1s, on the image there. And it's defined and secured by a shrub fence. So to talk about the next phase of the project, phase 2, we have added elements like shade sails. We've added these 2 blue boxes that you see on the site, and those are an A-seed space, a multi-purpose space that we can have many different functions in, as well as number 15, which would be the commissary kitchen and bar area to have events and to have nourishment at those events. As you can see, the pop-up tents have moved to the side. The stage has moved towards the center, so it's really moving the elements of the site to create what you need from that site. And now to move to phase 3, we have added bathrooms, we added a deck, and we've added more trees to it to provide shade. So as you can see on the right, that's basically the design. Those images on the right are the design of what it's intended to look like. And I just wanted to say that there's many different potential types of programming that can happen in that flex space, which is now occupied by a larger stage, as you can see on the bottom right. So the different types of events, if I can have the next slide, would be as the special event space where you can put a big tent and have a wedding, say, or a family reunion or something that you can rent out that space. You can have a performance space, a large stage to have your voices heard or to do spoken word or anything creative and showcase your talents. There can also be, if I can have the next slide, a movie area. At night, you can activate the space at night. There will be lighting at night. And also to support local businesses, there'll be a green market that local businesses can rent the tents from. So I'd like to thank you so much for letting me walk you through the design, and I'm interested to hear your feedback.
Thank you, Amy. We've got a poll question. What would you like to see or do at the Root? We've got event rental space, classroom style workshops, small business booth rental, commissary kitchen food prep membership, co-working space. Give us your thoughts. We've got about 15 more seconds. And it looks like you can choose more than one. Thank you. All right, we're going to give the last few people a chance, and we will go ahead and end the polling. It looks like 79% of you would like small business booth rental, 50%. 7 of you would like classroom style workshops, 64%, event rental space, 50% commissary kitchen, 57% co-working space. Sounds good, guys. Thank you. I want to thank you all for taking the time to answer our poll questions. And if you have any questions right now, we'd like for you to go ahead and put them in the Q&A box. And I saw some action in there earlier. Janelle Jackson, thanks for your question. She asked, what are the ways you will get the community involved in the project? And for this, I'd like to get all of the founders to take their, show their video, show their face so we can all talk about this. It looks like Venice responded as well, but And Venice said one of the ways that we plan to get the community involved is during the painting of the mural and planting of the trees and landscaping. And we encourage new ideas. Initially, I would say, join Lincoln Park Young Professionals, and you can definitely be a part of it. Any other founders have anything to add? No? Okay, all right. And we had someone say they would like all types of events. Okay, here we go. Zakia, thank you. The questions are coming in. What will be the capacity as far as people? Well, Zakia, that's an interesting question right now when we were talking about social distancing. I think I'm not prepared to answer that question, but I know that we will probably work on phasing people in depending on what the COVID situation looks like. Tay, what are your thoughts on capacity with people for the project?
I'm not really sure, but based off of the many events that we're having there and the different screenings that they provided to us for movies, I'm not really sure how big that space would be. I would say that we would have to defer to our architect because they would have that design in mind of how much people we can get into those areas.
Yes.
I will say this, being an urban planner, we really can't answer that until the actual development application phase, because that's when it's reviewed by the different entities, the fire district, the health department and such. So that's a question once things start rolling for development, then we can answer that.
Thanks, Venice. Thank you. I see a question about how do I join and what is the cost? At the end, we're going to have a sheet that gives you information, but you can you can email Lincoln Park Young Professionals at lpypcape@gmail.com. And there'll be some links at the end for you to, you can apply online and all that good stuff. Okay. And looks like we have a question that says, what is the difference from what you all do compared to Fort Pierce Main Street? Well, Fort Pierce Main Street, that's a Main Street organization that's run in partnership with the Florida Humanities Council, I believe. And Fort Pierce Main Street, which oversees downtown, they take care of downtown businesses and marketing for them and creating events to promote visitorship. And there is also, I'm not sure if many of you know, there's also a Lincoln Park Main Street that is right on Avenue D. Their address is 1234 Avenue D, and they do the same things. Lincoln Park Young Professionals, I'd love for another founder to take it away as far as what it is that we do different than that organization that's tied to the government.
I would like to say that we're adding to the current mission that Lincoln Park Main Street has. We have no opposition to partnering with Lincoln Park Main Street to further the progress of the Lincoln Park community. I mean, that's what we're all here for, is to make Lincoln Park, a better place for our community. Yeah.
Awesome.
To add to that, Venice, so I just keep remembering how we got together and when we came up with the Root Project, we really viewed it as a catalyst in the community.
Yeah.
To see different things. And we wanted just to really change the vibe, and with the new energy coming in, to actually see change in the place that we live, work, worship. So it's in conjunction with all of the other efforts, and we're blessed to be in this position to make such a big difference to start off. But our whole goal with this project is to be a catalyst and to empower one another so we can see other things that we'd like to see in the community.
I agree. And it's funny that June brought that up, because we always stated that we want to be the connectors
Right.
for our community, so we can connect everybody to be the catalyst.
And Venice, that's what I wanted to add. We're not here to reinvent the wheel. We're here to connect with other organizations here in the Lincoln Park area. So it's not like we're just trying to be that one main focus. We want to partner with your organization, and make the Lincoln Park area great.
All right, let's see. One more question. Well, it looks like Bruce, a participant, stated that under normal conditions, about 150 to 200 people will be there, but we will also defer to Venice because the government will tell us more. Okay. It looks like we have a question also in the chat from, Cindy Matthews, that asked how we're partnering with Allegheny Franciscan Ministries. Would anybody like to answer that? Ultimately, they funded this project for us. They're helping us put this awesome boom idea out to the community. And, we work with them, and a number of our founders have been in cohorts and a part of the fellowship. So we are continuously working with Allegheny Franciscan Ministries, and we hope to continue to work with them even after they leave.
And I'm not sure if Cindy missed the beginning portion of the webinar, which it might sound like, and some people did come in a little later.
Okay.
Cindy, we actually applied as the Lincoln Park Young Professionals. Again, as some of the co-founder was saying, our initial goal was basically to be connectors, educate our community on political aspects, like getting them involved with the voters process, as well as home ownership, just being involved in the community, having access to resources. And we actually had the opportunity to apply for a Boom grant, which was sponsored by Allegheny. So after our rigorous process, that's how we actually won the proposal. We had the best Boom idea for the community. So Allegheny, in partnership with us, will continue to support us in this venture to make not only Lincoln Park a better place to live, but a place that people could come and thrive in when Allegheny and the funding source leave, that we can sustain ourselves. So ideally, the Lincoln Park Young Professionals are creating a roadmap, right? A path to people finding stability, of coming to Fort Pierce. We want to get you involved in, helping mature your business idea so you can come from the root to your own brick and mortar. And also being able to have some sustainability with that as well. So we are walking hand in hand with Allegheny as they have continued to support our community as long as they've been involved with us.
Thank you, LaShonda.
And,
great.
and I want to add to what LaShonda was saying. We, basically like to contribute to the renaissance of the Lincoln Park community. A lot of times we hear from older generations and our parents and grandparents how Avenue D used to be, how it was thriving, how it was such a great place, and it was the center of the Lincoln Park community. We want to be a part of that, and we want to help start it again. This is a central location. That's why we chose this specific location, because we want to be the catalyst for it, and we want to work with everyone. We want to be the connectors and start that unity again. So,
thank you, Venice. We've got a few more questions. Is the goal to promote increased entrepreneurship or increase exposure for existing businesses? Yes, yes, and yes, John. That was a question from John Caesar. Yes, that's what we want to do. We need to get our businesses out of the house and into a place where people can shop and support them. And by providing them that space at the root, we feel that after time, we'll just create a stronger, more connected community of people who are sharing with each other like we used to. So taking it back to the old school. Anybody else want to add anything to that? Okay, I do want to add something about entrepreneurship and the fact that in our community, we are so strong. What I noticed is that we got businesses, this business, that business, June's real estate, LaShonda does everything, Chastity can do 5 things, and we want to support that. All of y'all, we want you to be there. We want to be able to share you with everyone else. Sorry, I get a little animated, but it's real. And we want to be able to provide that space for you to where you're walking down Avenue D, you have somewhere to go. We want to have a place where we can feel like this is our block. We don't have to go downtown. Avenue D was the corridor. Avenue D is where it's at. So we'd like to bring that back. So yes, we want entrepreneurs to get out of the house and on at the root, and then hopefully you go from the root to a brick and mortar place. And then you're here for 30 years. And then your kids, and you see this cycle, that's what we want. All right, sorry.
And also too, we don't want to forget about those college students at Indian River State College. Education is just as important too.
Absolutely.
So RSC, we see you out there.
We want to partner with everyone, Janelle Jackson has a question. What are ways you can help small businesses open up on Avenue D when many of those properties are owned by outside investors? It's real, I can speak from a point of view as a Lincoln Park Revitalization Coordinator and the person who oversees the Grants Administration Department. Right now, in partnership with in partnership with Allegheny, we have a Way to Grow Lincoln Park grant that can give you up to $10,000 to open a business on Avenue D. Now, yes, it's great, but we do have to be mindful of who we're giving our money to, right? However, if we don't have it, if it's not ours, what are we to do? I think that we need more brand new buildings, so that there are more great businesses can go into. Some of the stock of the buildings aren't that great, but that's what we have. And there's money out there to rehab it. And there will be more funding coming for Avenue D grants within the next 3 to 6 months. So we can help you, Janelle. If you want to get my contact information, I can talk to you more and share some things about what we have right now. Anybody?
So I'd like to step in here if that's possible. And I've seen Janelle, she's a real estate professional as well. With the changing of the vibe and the mindset, to be honest with you, anything you don't own, you really don't control. So it would take, it's fine to start in a business incubator and grow it up, but that's the point of the route. You start small, you can grow, get financing, be as large as you'd like to. We are just saying that, hey, why don't we build up our own neighborhoods, which takes financing, which would take a line of credit. So that would then cause you, as your business grows, you'll grow and your perspective will grow. The business owner's perspective will grow. So they're going to know that working on their credit is one thing, making enough revenue, setting budgets, payroll, all of these things that make you successful in Lincoln Park will also in turn make Lincoln Park successful. And why it's important that we own it is because if you're renting out that space now, the rent may start off cheap, but the more you make it successful, you're making the rent go up for it to be in somebody else's pocket. And these are, a lot of times these are really old buildings. So start fresh, start new. And that's how our community will renew itself, not only down the Avenue D corridor, but, in our neighborhoods. So it's a change of mindset. We can do it, but it will take investments. And since we want it to happen for us, that means we are responsible for the investment, no one else really.
Thank you for that, June. June's in real estate. She knows about property values and all of those things, and she knows the quality of those buildings. See, I'm going to take a look.
I want to give a good shout out to John Caesar of the CSC of St. Lucie County, who is interested in helping providing books for our library. Thank you so much. And anybody else who wants to donate those books to the libraries, just drop us your information. We are so excited about these books. Thanks again, John.
All right. Look at that.
I have one thing to mention before we move on. I just want to let everybody know that we are aware of the Lincoln Theater being next to our project and the proposed improvements and revitalization of the Lincoln Theater. So I think they're planning on doing an extension of the Lincoln Theater, maybe parking and such. So this is a temporary space, the route, which we can move the route to anywhere within the Lincoln Park community. This is just the beginning. We currently have a 10-year lease for this. So we are also going to be working with the Martin Luther King Commemorative Committee and Lincoln Park Main Street. So.
Thank you, Venice. We had a question about our biggest challenge, and I think this can be one of our last questions before we go into closing remarks. Anybody like to jump in on what's our biggest challenge? Okay, I would say personally, I think the idea of all these great professionals getting together and connecting people is great. However, sometimes you end up being that busy young professional, and sometimes you have to work on multitasking. And I will say that that's why we need strong membership, so that we can all do this together. And again, that's my personal challenge, not necessarily as an organization, but that does make getting together and coordinating some things a little challenging. But again, that's why we need strong members who can come in and help, because we can't do it all by ourselves. Anybody else have anything to add to that?
Thank you.
No, just to, I see another question that popped up I didn't want us to miss. And then I also saw that Ms. Hall came into the question as well. It says, will this space be open daily for the community? Janelle, that was all in our planning process, as well as our surveying, like what we will use this space for. So ideally, we initially wasn't thinking this would be a place that we will hold open daily. However, if it's a call of the community, that's what we will do. So for instance, like in the pandemic time right now, if we needed to open the space to give out items, or what we talked about was a speak it out on Fridays, where the community could come out and share some of the concerns. So if it's the will of the community and we have the capacity to do that, we will open it as necessarily as needed, or as much as needed. And then Arlise asks, will you work with the youth in the community and to help educate them about furthering their education and talk to them about student loans? So Chastity spoke briefly to that about we would not only missing the students at Indian River, but our students that are in the community, because this younger generation is ready. They're ready to get out, go to college, and come back and make sure that Fort Pierce continues to thrive. So yes, we want to, as the majority of us are college educated, we want to educate them on student loans and how to apply for grants. And most importantly, if grant is not an option and you have to take out a student loan, being smart about what student loans to take. And also, if as much as possible, encourage them to use that front door that we have here in our community, which is Indian River State College, because most of them could apply for that free 2-year or 4-year scholarship to get them to the next place, so they don't have to acquire as many student loans. But absolutely, we will create space for our youth. I am a youth advocate. I counsel youth. So absolutely, we will have space and ideas and creativity that will draw in our youth and attend to their needs.
Yes, Arlise, and if you have any great opportunities or ideas that you want to send our way, we are more than welcome to partner with you and your organizations and get that going as well.
Thank you.
And then lastly, I know we overlooked, I'm sorry, Dr. T. We did overlook Dr. T because she did ask us earlier that she would love to present this idea. It was brought to her to do a community peer support space, and she wanted to talk about the Lincoln Park Young Professionals. Absolutely, I know I can speak as a founder, but also our president is here, Venice, the strong standing man amongst all these women. He'll be aboard with that. We absolutely want to put Lincoln Park Young Professionals out there, and in his closing statement, I believe he will address some of that as well.
All right, so we are done with the Q&A portion. And We're going to bring back our president, Venice Gilmore, to give us some closing remarks. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We are very excited about this endeavor and all the future endeavors that we will have at the Root and throughout the Lincoln Park community. So questions came up about how to join Lincoln Park Young Professionals. You can go to our website, which is lpypcape.wixsite.com/The Root. Our membership fee is a yearly fee of $50. You will receive a t-shirt. Your first year is one of these t-shirts that we have on, either in color white or black. Our email contact is lpypcape@gmail.com. Facebook is lpyp Fort Pierce. We also accept PayPal donations at lpypcape@gmail.com or Cash App donations at $lpyp. And that concludes our presentation, and we're looking forward to this great project.